Welcome, friends. Tonight, we explore the shared secret at the heart of Sufism and Kabbalah. Why two ancient paths describe the same longing inside the human soul. Across centuries and languages, both traditions whisper the same truth. What we seek is not outside us. It is the light buried within. This video is adapted from Dr. Farid Mostamand's 7-book Rumi collection, an invitation to understand the soul through the eyes of two great mystical traditions.
Stay with us. In the next moments, we will uncover why Sufis and Kabbalists describe the same ache.
Welcome to my home. I hoped we would speak here, where the air is still and the heart can breathe. It feels peaceful here, quiet, in a way that invites the soul to speak. Peace is rare today. Our world is full of noise, but empty of meaning.
Yeah.
People feel more connected than ever, yet more alone. Sufism calls this huzn, the quiet ache of separation.
Yeah.
Not sadness, longing. In Kabbalah, we call it galut anefesh, the exile of the soul. The heart remembers its origin, but cannot return. So we agree the modern heart suffers the same wound. Yes, the ache is universal, not cultural, not religious, human. But modern life teaches us to silence that ache, to distract it, to bury it. Yet the ache is not the enemy. The ache is the doorway. Exactly, the wound is the messenger saying, you are more than what you chase. But today, everything pulls attention outward, screens, urgency, comparison. People forget how to look inward.
This is why both Sufism and Kabbalah begin with return, a turning of the heart toward what is already inside.
Return, teshuvah. Not repentance, remembering who we are. Rumi said, the grief we cry is the reed remembering the river. The Zohar said, the soul cries for the place from which it came. So the question is not, why are we suffering? The question is, what are we longing for? We long for belonging, for meaning, for the presence that never leaves.
Both traditions say, the beloved is closer than your breath, but the world teaches us to look everywhere else.
So this path is not about gaining anything new. It is about removing what blocks what is already here. The journey is not outward, it is inward, and downward, and then upward. What blocks the heart today most is fear, Isarian. Fear of not being enough, of losing, of being forgotten. Fear grows where love is absent. Sufism says, polish the heart so love can recognize itself. Kabbalah says, remove the husk and the light reveals itself. So again, we agree. The world does not need more teachings. It needs more remembering and more courage to face the ache instead of escaping it. Because the ache is not emptiness, the ache is love calling us home. We live in a world that has learned how to build everything except contentment. Sufism says the nafs, the ego, is a bottomless stomach. It consumes endlessly, yet is never full. The age is loud, but souls grow quiet in sorrow. Kabbalah calls it hester, panim. Sufism calls it ghaflah, forgetfulness, not ignorance, but being asleep while awake. The remedy is dhikr. In our path, remembrance is kavana, intentional awareness. Without it, the inner spark sinks beneath the klipot, the husks of habit and fear. Stress multiplies when the nafs clings to tomorrow and yesterday. The heart heals only in the present, tawakkul, trustful resting in the now. Kabbalah names two currents in us, yetzer hara and yetzer hatov. Anxiety swells when the self contracts around lack. It softens when we turn toward devekut, cleaving to the source. In the Sufi map, nafs ammara, we train the breath and adab until the heart becomes a calm harbor. We speak of tzimtzum, the infinite withdrew to make space for us. Our task is tikkun, mending. Each mindful act gathers scattered sparks of light. Relationships reveal our schooling. Love is clean when it reflects the one. It wounds when the ego seeks to own. Suhbat polishes the mirror. Attachment says, fill my emptiness. Love says, let us serve the light in one another. In the Zohar, two become one by joining their kavanah, not by possessing.
Unhappiness blooms where comparison thrives. The cure is fena, the melting of the small self into a wider mercy, followed by baqa, living that mercy in the world.
Where intention goes, reality follows. Purpose is not a trophy, it is alignment, yichud, unifying the scattered into one. The marketplace is not the enemy, ownership is. Walk the stalls with God in your gaze. Weigh coins with justice. Return home with a lighter heart than when you left. We practice mitzvot, embodied acts, to anchor heaven in small gestures. How we eat, speak, forgive. The mundane becomes a ladder. The nafs is a bottomless stomach. Feed it gold and it hungers more. Feed the heart remembrance and it overflows. The vessel's shattered, fragments fell into matter. Materialism happens when we forget to lift them back with blessing. Blessing begins with presence. 3 breaths. Feel the cup in your hand. The gift. In that simplicity, the door opens. Names differ, motion is one. Sufism descends from love to clarity. Kabbalah climbs from clarity toward love. Both meet in compassion. Tell me, friend, what do you teach the anxious youth? Begin with the body, breath like tides. Then the tongue, a short remembrance. Then the hand, one generous act. Anxiety cannot rule a servant of mercy. And I say, tend one corner of your life with holiness, speech, work, or eating. And watch the light multiply. Tikkun begins local and becomes universal. So the meaning we seek is not far. It waits wherever we meet the world with a faithful heart.
In this stillness, Rumi teaches that love is not found through words, it is remembered through silence.
The Zohar calls it devekut, clinging to the divine until the self disappears. In silence, the boundaries melt, only the source remains. Both the Sufi and the Kabbalist seek this union, but we lose it when life becomes noise. Our modern worship is a distraction, endless motion, no arrival. The Kabbalist says the shell has replaced the fruit. And Rumi would answer, the reed sings because it remembers. Humanity suffers not from the absence of God, but from forgetting the sound of its own soul. In Kabbalah, this forgetting is exile, galut chashechina, the exile of the divine presence. When we forget, heaven hides within us. And in Sufism, we call it ghaflah, the slumber of the heart. The cure is dhikr, remembrance through living wakefully. Remembrance is the medicine of both paths. Awareness that the infinite is already here.
We trade our attention for noise. We drown in possessions, yet thirst for meaning.
The more we chase the external, the further we move from the source. In the chase for more, we become less.
Rumi said, "The wealth you hold will one day own you." In Kabbalah, light without a vessel burns. That is the root of chaos. Desire without wisdom destroys itself. So that the task is not to renounce desire, but to refine it, to transform hunger into prayer, to turn every act into intention. The mystics call it avoda, sacred work. Modern anxiety calls from resisting flow. Both our paths teach surrender, trust that the wave knows where it's going. And the Kabbalist echoes, to nullify oneself before the infinite. When ego falls silent, the divine speaks. It seems our two paths converge not in theology, but in the silence that follows understanding. In that silence, we discover what we always sought, not a belief, but a belonging. Love is not a feeling, it is an alignment. When the heart aligns, the world becomes whole. And unity is not an idea, it is the end of ideas.
If this video touched your heart, subscribe. It's inspired by the timeless wisdom in the 7-book Rumi collection by Dr. Farid Mostamand. Whether you seek healing, love, clarity, or growth, these teachings will guide you inward to the truth of who you are.